What kind of activities are conducted by people working in these careers?
So you're reading it out.
Well, if we answer the exact question, then we get full.
Wait, what kind of? What was the question? What kind of activities are conducted?
Conducted. A career path. Oh, you're a career path.
Like, what's my job?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, what's the career path that you're interested in?
Okay, wait, one question.
Okay, describe a career path that you're interested in algae. That's for us.
That's for you.
Introspective by asking someone.
Yeah, what's your job?
Yeah.
So a lot of things like this is actually a way more advanced level than what we usually teach, but basically it's high school to early universities are most typical groups that we have in here, and I teach just about everything at the station. So it varies from day to day, but like some of our most common things will be labs. So for instance, there's like the seaweed lab, there's an invertebrate lab, where it's like a 2 to 3 hour kind of exploratory lab, and we go through a couple of marine phyla. And then we have like primary productivity lab, where the kids will set up different seaweeds and test how they grow under different light conditions, and all sorts of labs relating to the marine environment. And then we also have a lot of field trips. So like for instance, how you guys are going to the beach, we usually do anywhere from 2 to 4 field trips per trip for the kids that come and visit here. So everyone's usually here for about 4 days. So we'll go out to Brady's Beach, for instance, out to Aguilar, and then kind of focus in on a certain topic while we're out there. So for you guys, obviously we're focusing more on seaweeds. Sometimes we'll focus on seaweeds at one beach and then focus on invertebrates at another beach and do like tide pool studies and look at interactions in tide pools. And then we also do some case studies as well. So like one of the things is teaching conservation case studies. So we look at like different ways in which animals or plants are protected, and kind of different strategies, and then the students go and do their own case study with files of information that they have and kind of present it to the class. So it's all very hands-on stuff. So we are, more than anything, we're just facilitators. So we kind of go through a very quick introduction of the topic at hand, and then the groups of students kind of work usually in teams to kind of gather the information they need to fill in all the blanks, and often do a presentation or just take notes or something.
So you're like strictly doing like group activities, like you're not doing like a project on the side sort of thing, or?
No, it's all group activities. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Is it physically strenuous? Yeah.
That's funny. That is. Sometimes when it's like pouring rain for the entire day and you have to hike to Brady's and back with a bunch of equipment, it can be a little bit strenuous. But for the most part, it's like, I don't know. If you're not in good shape, I guess it would be strenuous. It's kind of fun to run up and down the hill a couple times a day.
Are any of the other like teachers, like, do they have research projects on the sides?
Most of us don't. To be honest, most of the teachers here are in transition. So one of them, for instance, is going to do her master's. She's starting in January. There's another one that is in the application process right now. This term, not so much, but in the spring term, we had one girl that was here. She had her PhD and even her postdoc in education. So she's actually a phycologist, and she's teaching a seaweeds course right now. But she really wanted to get more experience with outdoor education, and so that's why she came and did this for just for one season. And then a couple of students that are like just finishing out their masters and want to have some teaching experience. So it's a pretty wide variety from like people's experience here range from having their undergrad to their master's or their PhD, with the occasional postdoc person coming in as well.
Can you tell us about a research project that's happening here? I know there was like a bunch in the spring, but I don't know if it's still Like the C-star ones, the leather
C-star.
C-stars?
Yeah, there's way more going on with that in the spring. It's kind of tiered down now, but they were trying to figure out like what. Basically, they were testing different antimicrobial components to see what might work. It was kind of like more of a trial and error thing, though, from what I understand. But there's some research right now being done on sticklebacks and their behavior in I don't know exactly what kinds of environments. And some copepod kind of like sex index to see like what environments have more female or more male copepods. But yeah. Yeah.
Just in general, like after a degree, what type of jobs can we get in Bamfield or in general?
So you're thinking of like you guys are all doing a biology degree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from what I understand, you got kind of teaching or research is kind of like the two main groups. And there's obviously the possibility of doing a combination of both. But those are mainly the jobs that I've seen anyways. Or continuing on and furthering your education. I'm at the point right now, I just have my bachelor's degree, so I don't know really what else I can do other than going back to school to get further education, because a lot of jobs require a master's. So, yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, there
I'll ask them.
are. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh no, there's more questions.
You're welcome.
The other questions are kind of like self.
Oh, we can just assume these ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, never mind. No, false alarm.
All right.
Yeah.